You are now listening to Between Us Girls, the podcast, where we discuss life's fuckeries and then some over wine.
Sharonda.
And this is
Between Us Girls.
If you stumbled upon our show by accident, we appreciate you listening in. And you can always find us on SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and iTunes. Social media, Facebook, Between Us Girls, the podcast, Instagram, Between Us Girls Podcast, and at Twitter, at Girl Talk and Wine. And if you feel like you want to be in the giving spirit, you can always donate and support us on Patreon. That's going to be at www.patreon.com/betweenusgirls. And this week, we have a special fan of the week, Miss D. Harris, listened to our entire catalog in 2 days. She posted each episode in our Facebook group.
Go D.
You guys gave a donation.
Aww. She's so awesome. I saw how she put comments too.
Yeah,
I really like that.
She was really into it.
With feedback.
Yeah,
even if she was shut the fuck up, y'all stupid.
Yeah, so it wasn't like she just click play. She was actually into it. She wanted to buy a t-shirt, but we don't have no t-shirts yet.
Oh, I heart you, D.
Thank you, D.
Yes, thank you, D.
So we do have a guest today, a YouTube vlogger, a relationship and dating coach. And she is just as cute as a button.
She is.
I really like her voice. It's very soothing. And her name is Katrina Young Sosa. We found her on Twitter. She was teaching people how to be fabulous. So we just thought, well, we should have her on. So, Katrina, say hello.
Hi. Thank you for having me on. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we are happy that you are here.
Yes.
Yep. So before we jump into our little mini interview, before we get into our panel discussion, we need to talk about what we're sipping on. So what is this wine?
This wine is, Michelle, I love you.
What is it?
It's called Prophecy, and it's a Pinot Noir, my favorite grape of all time. No joke. I'm dead serious.
I'm glad that you're happy.
It's vintage 2015, and for the alcoholics out here named Sharonda, because that's my life, it does not have a percentage.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wait, I'm a liar. 13.8%.
Wow,
alcohol.
that might be one of our highest ones.
And you know what it looks like? You know how the Joker, the old school Joker looks on a deck of cards? The bottle's pretty.
It's very pretty.
We'll show it to y'all.
Yeah.
It's got all golden detail and stuff.
Yeah, and of course you can always check our Instagram next week, and we'll have a photo of the wine when we tell y'all if it was good or not. Okay, so y'all know we do Is It Good or Not? But we're bringing back the official wine scorecard.
Not me, though.
We've got some rebels in the room.
Just one.
But
Maybe
we're going to rate the wine on the appearance, aroma, body, taste, and finish. The top score is a 25. That was Sharonda getting a booty call text from Omi. Okay.
Yes, we do have plans later, so let's speed this
Girl,
shit
you
up.
better get it in. All right, so let's get started with our interview for Katrina. Got a few questions, just a little bit, so people can, kind of know you better before we start talking about, the meat of the episode. Okay. What made you start your YouTube channel?
Just because I kept being pushed to do it, and I kept putting it off. My first video that I uploaded a few months ago was on toxic relationships. And the first run of that video, I actually recorded over a year ago. And I just couldn't force myself to put it out there like that.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
You getting a booty call text too?
Yeah, but
She ignored me.
what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, are you getting the booty call text too?
Well, it's kind of a long distance booty call because I'm not even at home.
Give them the best one.
But yeah, I just felt like video was the best way to get my message out there. As much time as I spend watching YouTube videos, I figured I might as well put some out there myself.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So how long have you been a love and relationship coach? Were you doing that before you started your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I honestly feel like I've been doing it my whole life because I've always been that go-to person for the people around me. But technically only a little over a year. I started actually thinking I wanted to go into public speaking, but then I realized that I liked the one-on-one a lot better than public speaking. So that's how that transitioned.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what's a quick piece of relationship advice you can give to singles who are hoping to find love in the age of social media and online dating? I saw that you had recently put out a video on that.
Yeah, I think the overall piece of advice I can give is to be intentional. I don't think a lot of stuff in life just happens to you. Even if it's by fate, you still have to be intentional in your thoughts and your actions. And I feel like a lot of people are sitting around scrolling through IG on their accounts, but wondering why they haven't met that right person. Well, you're not really doing it. Why would you meet them?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They're not going to break into the house.
Right.
I saw that meme this week too, or it said
That is
something.
funny as shit.
Someone said that.
Yeah.
That sounds like some shit I was.
I mean, it's just, it's real. So,
Right.
Katrina, can you tell the listeners how to find you, where you're at on social media and YouTube and all that?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All of it is K Young Sosa.
Okay. So, we're going to get into the panel discussion.
All right.
Sharona, why you don't tell them what we're talking about today?
I don't know what we're talking about. I'm just here. I don't do work here.
You have a job today.
I have a job today?
Yeah.
Let me go back to this email.
Oh,
Lord. Here
While
we
you
go.
was over there scrolling Instagram, like, people just be on
See how
Instagram.
she just did you? She just literally did you. You know how the kids are not paying attention in school and the teacher's like, Johnny.
And Johnny's like, bitch, you don't see me trying to Snapchat, oh? Mind your business. No, I'm joking. So I guess our panel discussion today is, what do you think women should bring to the table?
Right. What should women bring to the table?
Why it gotta be us though? Ugh.
And then, well, the thing
We
is,
always say we're the table.
well, here's why. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory. I don't know if you guys remember, we had an episode, maybe like 3 or 4 episodes back. We heard some complaints from the fellas who thought, we weren't focusing enough on what women do incorrectly, basically, or what we bring to the table, while we're always making all these demands and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So we decide we'll go ahead and turn the tables on ourselves, even though we don't really care, and get into that a little bit. So I guess my thing is, there seems to kind of be a sentiment sometimes that all women need to really do is just cook, look appealing, and show up, and that might have been enough in the 50s and 60s, but today it's not enough. So what do you guys think women should bring to the table?
So I think besides the cooking, besides being able to take care of home, I think nowadays also the men want you to also keep up with yourself. I know some guys like
Sharonda's fucking face.
well, okay, so let's be honest, really.
No, I'm with you. Go.
Some do. Sharonda's like, fuck that shit.
She's like,
Look,
you gonna take whatever's inside this motherfucking chef outfit. I'm trying what you gonna do.
Because y'all know I live in this goddamn costume over here. Fuck, I ain't seen my real clothes in months.
I honestly think that
them
men,
checkered ass pants, though.
Bitch, I hate them. Fuck you.
But I really do think that men want that. They want you to keep up. They want you to look like a freaking Instagram model while you're cooking.
Ooh, that's not gonna happen though.
And trying to, it's not, but it's something that they want.
Well, I feel like
okay, so he tried it, right?
what did he ask you for?
I mean, I don't think that. I think that's a bit extreme. I mean, I think that they do want somebody who still looks appealing, like outside of like the Instagram shit. Like I think. Well, I don't know. I can just speak for what I have because I only have one person, and his thing is, he doesn't like a whole bunch of makeup. Like when we did our photo shoot thing, he was like, ugh,
yeah,
scary. And I'm like, it was for pictures. That's why it's so heavy or whatever. But I mean, I think that they still want you to still be appealing, out like in regular clothes.
like brush your hair.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
like
just you don't have to look like a supermodel all the time. But I mean, at least
groom yourself.
Yeah, just regular grooming. It's
Yeah.
okay to bathe.
Yeah, and
Brush
like
your hair.
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, because big girls have men too, so it's not.
Right.
There's no reason to say you
Yeah,
have to be thin because that's impossible. That's first of all
That's
impossible for
stupid.
each
Yeah.
person to be the same size, and I don't even think that that's a real requirement for everyone. Katrina, what do you think about what Jen said about men wanting you to look a certain way?
Right. I think they want you to be the best version of yourself, or at least a decent version of yourself.
Yeah.
Like that whole brushing your hair comment. I'm good for just throwing my hair up in the bun and walking out the door, but
Hello, and that
I wouldn't
inside be
expect
knotted.
anybody to approach me and take me seriously then at
Right.
the same time. But I just had this conversation with a young lady. You want guys to accept you and you're walking around and you haven't brushed your hair in 3 days, but you want him to walk out the door looking like Idris Elba. I just don't understand why. It's not about being an Instagram model. It's about putting your best self out there.
Yeah.
Right, and that kind of goes into like the other portion of the discussion, which was kind of, you need to meet your own standards. So like,
Right.
like you said, she's barely brushing her hair, wearing a bonnet like I have on or whatever. But then also, he needs to look like he's going to the Met Gala,
Right.
laying on the steps like Diddy,
With the red up on the bottom.
while
of the
she's
shoe.
wearing,
Yep.
her sweatpants, bonnet, and she's like, "We finna go to the store, and I'm going just like this."
No.
What?
Right. And then when when you don't get the response you want for that, then we call guys, they're shallow or they're egotistical, but you don't even look like you showered in 3 days. Like that's bad hygiene.
Right,
Wow.
And nobody wants that.
right,
And especially if you're looking for something a little bit more serious and you're trying to find somebody that's going to help you build a life and a home, what kind of home do you look like you could build?
Wow. Makes sense.
With that 3-day-old ass hair. I always feel like you can't ever ask somebody else for something that you yourself are not willing to give. Like, don't expect, me to comb my hair and you don't comb your hair. Like don't
Right.
have these expectations of me that you also don't have. Like, let's not no.
right.
We're not
Your
gonna do
balls
that.
stink. You haven't bathed.
Right.
You want me down there?
Take care of that
Come
situation.
on now, man.
You haven't groomed.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
it
saying,
up.
like, just basic grooming. And a lot of the time, I think nowadays they want you to have some money, some of your own money,
Yeah.
So that you're not necessarily 100% reliant on them to fund your life.
Yeah.
Because that's like the number one fear of men is like, oh, she's going to take me for everything I have. But I mean, they only have 35 cents.
Yeah.
But they're just scared that you're going to like reach in and just rake those coins.
all 35 of
Right.
them.
Yeah. Maybe leave them with
And
like
I
2
think-
pennies.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And I think men especially, it is not necessarily about how, I know women focus a lot on or probably more so on how much money this man is making. But for the man, I don't think that they're worried about the amount of money you're making. They just want to know that you have the integrity and ethics and character to go out there and get your own check.
Right.
I don't care how much that check is. Well, obviously, I don't want you to be making below minimum wage,
Right.
but we don't have to be making equal. I just need to see that you, so that I'm not out here busting my ass all day and you just sitting around with your hand out.
Right. Like, I don't know. Have you guys seen that meme? And it's like the husband comes home from work and he's like, hey, the house isn't clean, but you've been here all day. You know, basically, can I ask what you've been doing? And then she said, well, you went to work all day and we're still broke.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, girl.
That's
That's fucked up. It's fucked up as fuck.
That's
man.
funny shit, though.
But like, yeah, I mean, I think Katrina hit it on the head, the nail on the head. And she said they just want to know that you have some kind of work ethic. Like, even if you work from home.
Or some get up and go
Right.
about yourself.
Yeah.
To just get up and go, have that initiative to go, maybe feed yourself.
Some ambition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And even if you are staying at home and cleaning the house, just like that meme you mentioned, if this guy is going out in his ass and coming home to a dirty house, how does that show that you appreciate him? And I think for men especially, they want to be that caregiver, they want to be that alpha person, but they're a lot more sensitive than they put on. So they want to feel that appreciation and gratitude from women.
Yep.
And that shows up in the stuff that you're willing to do yourself and what you're bringing to the table.
Why do you think there's so much pushback now from women who, they don't want to do those traditionally wifely
Female
duties?
roles, yeah.
Like, they don't want to do those traditional female things. Like, why do you think that is?
I think from having a lot of conversations, especially me being here in the South and learning a lot about Christian values and being submissive, they hear that word submissive and they think, I just really need to turn over my entire life to this man. And that's not what the word submissive means in that term. I think people have got it misconstrued. If you have a husband and he is the head of your household, it's like being on a team. Your team leader is not going to boss you around and tell you what to do, but they're going to help keep things organized and running smoothly. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in most marriages anyway, the wife runs the house, but that's a whole other subject. Right. And I think we've all talked about this whole independent woman. I mean, I remember being in the club in my early 20s, proud to be an independent woman, and that's just gone too far. It's like, yes, I'm independent, but that doesn't mean that I can't be feminine. And by being feminine, that doesn't mean that I can't take care of my household.
Right.
That doesn't make me weaker or anything negative by doing so.
See, I think that's what it is. It's like you feel weak. Well, I can do it just as well as he can, or he needs to come in here and do these things too, instead of really just looking at it kind of from that traditional perspective, which is, like you said, this is how I'm showing my appreciation for what he's also doing, because I'm not going to cut no grass.
I'm not cutting grass.
Shit, up until my lawnmower broke, I did, but I'm weird, so don't. But I mean, that was that's how I used to get like a lot of my cardio in. Like, no fucking lie, my yard grows quickly. I used to be out there doing that shit every week.
But there's probably things that Omar does for you that a lot of men probably wouldn't want to do. So you guys have
that black man is a daddy daycare. Like, he packs everybody. Like, I couldn't ask for it to be better. He packs everybody up in the morning. I don't do shit. Like, bottles for Hunter, Hunter's lunch. He yells at the big kids. Not the way I would. I'd probably be meaner, but you know, he's doing good. You know, like get up, let's go. You know, and it drops everybody off at school. So listen, hey.
And that works for your household.
I don't have those problems.
Right. And that works for your household, but that's also, you guys are still appreciating each other.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely like on some teamwork type shit. Right. Like that's, I don't give a fuck about roles. I think that it's really just, you have to have somebody who's willing to, that they see that this is a team thing going on. It's a team effort being put forth to accomplish whatever the fuck it is we're accomplishing today. And everybody just get in where they fit in and throw a hand in there and we'll get there. Like that's literally, and I honestly feel like I didn't have that before. Yeah. Like I being married before, that wasn't that, I didn't have that. But this time it was all around, it's literally like just, no, I got it. Or, you know, I'll do this or I'll do that, or just don't worry about it. Go ahead, take care of what you need to do, and I'll do this. So I'm just like, oh my God, thank you so much.
I think that's why a lot of people are, we're just getting way off topic, but whatever. I think that's why a lot of people are concerned about getting married, is because they're afraid they won't have that real partnership like that.
Yeah. Or one person's scared to give more than the other person. And y'all need to just get off the gas. If the person is worthy of you giving like that, then do it. You're not going to know. You're not going to be able to guess by, ooh, they took 7 minutes to text me back. Bitch, get a life. Like, wait and see. Like, put in the work and see. And even if it doesn't work out, like my thing is, even if it doesn't work out with that person, at least you know what you're looking for. You know what you're willing to do. You now know what your limits are. And you can move on to the next person, okay? Because you learned something from dealing with that weird-ass situation.
But I don't think everyone thinks like that. I think a lot of people.
Well, goddamn it, they need to.
But they're not Sharonda.
Well, I'm telling them what to do.
Remember
Listen
how
to me.
she was last time? She was like, "You just gonna have to get over being depressed, get your ass up."
And yeah, but not everyone can bounce back like Sharonda. Like I know a lot of people are scared to show that, you know, traditional side. Like you're gonna take for granted what I'm giving you, and I believe that's one of the issues that we have now. With women. Women are, you know, women can cook. Women are very nurturing. That's how we were made like that. Right. But because we've been taken for granted for such a long time, I believe that that's one of the issues that we have, and this is the reason why we don't do that as much anymore, you know, because we feel like we're going to be taken for granted, or some women feel like they're going to be taken for granted, and they wasted all this time trying to give this to this man, and here he comes and he can't give the same back.
You know, I think it's important to be vulnerable. I say that all the time. But also, when you do stuff for people, like if you're going to go home and you're going to prepare a meal for a man, or you're going to clean up and, you know, in your house, and you're preparing meals for your family, you shouldn't be doing it because you don't want to, or you want somebody to be like, man, this is awesome, or, you know,
you do it because you want to do it.
Yes. So that way, if somebody isn't as appreciative as maybe they should be, you're not like, I did this shit for you. You did it for yourself. You
exactly.
know what I mean?
Or you did it because you genuinely just wanted to do it. And I think that may be why people, like what Jen just said, how they can't bounce back. I'm not saying bouncing back is like that easy. Like everybody's been there. I've been depressed. I've been sad. I've been hurt. I've been bad relationships, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, the same thing that kept picking me up, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't care. It works for Sharonda. But I know that I was genuinely myself. I genuinely gave of myself in the situation. I was honest. I was whatever. So if you can't take that, you're fucking lost. Like, it takes a minute to get to that point because you are sad. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. It's your loss. You lost me, bitch. I'm great. I'm fucking fantastic. And you go deal with somebody who sucks. Because whoever she is.
I like the way you think.
She sucks way, way more than I do. And not in the good way either. Not the good kind of sucking. No, not that kind.
And she's 100% serious.
I'm so fucking serious. I don't care. But am I right or am I wrong?
I didn't hear that last part.
I said, am I right or am I wrong?
I like the way you think because, you know, breakups, they happen. And if you putting your all into it and you're being your authentic self, that's all anybody else can ask for. And if that didn't work out, then that just wasn't the person for you. Like,
that's right.
do you move on so I can move on and find the right one, and you can move on and find the right one. No hard feelings. Just because two people aren't meant to be together doesn't mean that they're bad people. They're just not meant to be together, and I'm not about wasting time. I'm trying to move on to find the next one.
Exactly.
And back to the whole, you know, being submissive and doing the housework and this, that, and the other. Maybe that's not how it works in your house. Maybe you guys show your appreciation because one person does this or one person does that. There's no
set roles
to it. It's whatever you make it. As long as you're showing your appreciation for the other person and you're feeling the appreciation in return. So we're talking about like living together and marriage. You should have known all this before you got to that point. For the most part.
Yes, ma'am. 100%. I agree.
Well, ladies, Katrina, you were a delight. It is time for wine wrap up. So, was it good or not? What is your score?
Jen?
I would give it a 15.
You mean to tell me that you don't like this wine that I killed myself to go
first
get
of
for
all,
you?
I'm not a big red drinker, so I don't like a lot of red wines. To me, it's a little rather dry, but I don't like it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just don't.
I need to get away from you.
I'm sorry.
Sharada, you liked it?
Disrespectful. Of course. Do I like it or not? I like it.
You like it?
I'm sorry. I have to officially give it a score, so I'm going to give it a 23. Okay?
Oh, really? Out of 25?
Because it wasn't aerated. I'm just saying. It would have been a 25 if it was aerated.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give it.
She over there smacking like she eating ribs and shit. What are you doing?
Try not to cuss you out.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 20. It was okay. It was a little bit light.
Like too light? Like for a red?
Yeah.
Well, it's the lightest of the reds. Pinot Noir.
The Pinot Noir?
This is like the baby step of reds when you're like introducing yourself to a red wine. This is probably the grape that you want to start with because it's not heavy, it's not strong. It's like the lighter.
Yeah, I think now I'm sort of used to that.
To the heavier, like the cabs, the Merlots. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, I do not like Merlot. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Okay.
But cab, I can get with. Okay. So as far as we go, y'all can just head over to our website, www.betweenusgirlspodcast.com, and you'll see all of our social icons and listening links. You are more than welcome to check out all of our previous episodes like Dee did, because she did that.
Because Dee the shit, though, you know.
Dee the shit.
We love her.
And just head over to iTunes and leave us a review if you can, because that would be peachy. So, until next time, bye.
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 Thank you for joining us on Between Us Girls. But don't keep it a secret. Listen and share with everyone you know. See you next week.